I'm with 3 minutes until airtime on the Rice Sports Network. Mark, 3 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 2 minutes until airtime on the Rice Sports Network. If you encounter any technical issues related to this live show broadcast, please call our trouble hotline at 336-464-1806. Mark, 2 minutes until airtime for this live show broadcast. Your next time cue will come with 1 minute until airtime on the Rice Sports Network. Stations, we're coming up on 1 minute until we're coming up is when you hear 2 Mark. 1 minute stations, 1 minute until airtime for this live show broadcast. Studios, when you hear please start your archive recording. Coming up on 30 seconds until airtime on my mark. Mark, 30 seconds. Your next and final time cue will be with 15 seconds until airtime. Coming up on 15 seconds until airtime. Mark, 15 seconds stations. Have fun.
The following is a Learfield presentation of the Rice Sports Network. On the Rice Sports Network from Learfield, live from Mi Cocina. Welcome to the Mike Bloomgren Show. Mi Cocina, serving undeniably authentic Tex-Mex. The Mike Bloomgren Show is brought to you by The Parking Spot. The Parking Spot. We have airport parking covered by the International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 716. Lighting up Rice University and Houston for over 100 years. Now, alongside Coach Bloomgren, here's the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Yes, we made it back. Welcome to the Mike Bloomgren Show here for a 2024 slate. Appreciate everybody for coming on out here. We got a nice crowd here in the Monkey Bar. I think the greatest smell in life, as I already get distracted with some nice sizzling fajitas, I would buy Fajitas Cologne. So, Armando, let's get working on that. It is a great spot here, Mi Casina in River Oaks, 4110 Westheimer. We've got the video stream going on the Owls Facebook, YouTube, and X feeds, and also on RiceOwls.com, the Varsity Network app, and the Rice Owls Game Day app as well. From sizzling fajitas to tantalizing Mambo Taxi margaritas, each bite a sip is a journey through time-honored Tex-Mex cuisine, a fusion of generations of family recipes crafted our scratch kitchen, fresh handmade ingredients, delivering a culinary experience that will transport you to the heart of Mexico. It is a great spot. We're here in the back. We would like you out here every Monday of a Rice Owls game week, and it is just fun. I'm telling you, I'm not lying. This is not on the script. That smell is just amazing. I could smell that all day. Big fan of the brisket tacos here. I had some Mama's tacos today with the chicken fajitas and corn tortillas. It is just amazing. Coach, I think, has a second visit with the chimichanga here. It is great. You can't go wrong with some good grub here at Mi Casina. How about those Rice Owls and that big win on Saturday, huh? Yeah, 69-7 against TSU on Saturday. The third most points in school history and the second biggest margin in school history, only topped by the time Rice squeaked by SMU in 1916, 146-3. So Owls, at least in the modern era, one of their bigger wins by margin, the biggest win by margin. Again, coming up on the show here, great running game. So obviously you've got to feed the big fellas. We have starting right tackle, jack of all trades, master of many. The one and only Brant Banks will be coming up here in just a bit. I saw him around here. And we'll also have former Owl and big lineman Lavelle Dumont is going to be on the show as well. And then master of all the linemen, we have offensive line boss Sanders Davis. And then Coach Bloomgren comes back, and we talk about the Houston Cougars. They had a very close, hard-fought game and a loss in Norman on Saturday. They're 0-2. But that 0-2 is deceiving. They're at the number 15 team in the nation. They gave them a run to the final seconds. First-year head coach Willie Fritz. And how can I go the first few minutes of the show and not talk about this big, beautiful bucket right next to me? I tweeted out a photo just now of me and Coach Bloomgren. We have the Bayou Bucket on the line. Owls with a scintillating double overtime win last year that we'll no doubt talk about, but they want to keep this bucket where it belongs in South Maine. Doesn't it look good with me? You like it? There you go. We got to keep this. The bucket's a little bigger than my head, too, and I understand. We'll let Coach talk about it, keeping this bucket in Houston, on the right side of Houston, coming up here in just a little bit. Great spot to be. Stay with us coming here in just a bit. Another reminder that we are serving Mambo taxis at games now as well, too. That is a great, great treat here for Owls fans. Stay tuned. Coming up next, it's the Mike Bloomgren Show. We'll have Coach Bloomgren coming up here in the Monkey Bar and talk some Rice Owls football. This is the Mike Bloomgren Show live from Learfield.
At Shoppers, we get all kinds of John Deere tractor questions, like what horsepower tractor do I need? Do I need a four-wheel or two-wheel drive? What kind of attachments do I need for my John Deere tractor? The Shoppers tractor experts have the answers to all those questions, or you can go online and create your own John Deere tractor with our Build It, Price It, Own It tool. It will give you costs along with finance options. You can see all our specials by Googling Shoppers at SHOPPAS. Shoppers, your John Deere tractor experts and proud sponsor of Rice Owl Athletics.
Big trip on the horizon? Before you depart, you gotta park. The parking spot is a simpler, easier way to navigate airport parking, and you can save when you book online. You're guaranteed a spot, and we even pick you up at your trunk in our yellow and black spotted shuttles and take you straight to the terminal. Parking and saving come full circle at the parking spot. The Parking Spot, proud sponsor of Rice University. Visit theparkingspot.com to reserve your spot today.
Owl fans know where to stay when they come to Houston. Courtyard by Marriott, Rice University is the preferred choice, whether cheering on Coach Bloomgren and the team or kicking off their Rice experience during O Week. Just minutes from Rice Village and only 3 miles to campus, we provide the right mix of convenience and accessibility. When you're hungry, stop by the bistro for either breakfast or evening options. Cheer for the Owls by raising a glass in the lounge and unwind with your favorite beverage. Call 713-661-5669 to make a reservation, and be sure to ask for the Rice University rate. We look forward to welcoming you.
You ready for the big game? Fuel up for game day at Salad and Go. Whether you're tailgating, playing in the game, or cheering from home, make sure you've got your game day greens. From fresh salads to hearty wraps and refreshing drinks, Salad and Go has what you need to fill up and feel great. Score big with game day greens from Salad and Go. It's just what you need to win the day. Find a drive-thru near you at saladandgo.com or order online at saladandgo.com.
You're listening to the latest on Owls football with the head coach, Mike Bloomgren. Now let's go back inside Mi Cocina.
Yes, indeedy. Welcome back here at Mi Cocina here in River Oaks. Appreciate everybody for tuning out. We'll talk to head coach Mike Bloomgren right now. How about this setup, Coach? You got the monkey bar area in the back, got the whole place to ourselves. This is a really, really cool setup.
It's unbelievable, and the food is even more unbelievable. So what a great venue they got for us this year, man. I'm pretty fired up about everything about Mi Cocina.
I know the grub's coming up, but you have changa on the
chicken chimichanga. Actually, a couple weeks ago we were supposed to be here for the show, and it got canceled, and Laura and I still came, and I ordered my chicken chimichanga and had a blast. So, she got her a couple mambo taxis, and it was a good night.
A great delicacy for
Indeed.
sure. Well, huge 69-7 win over TSU on Saturday. However you want to take it and steer the ship first, because it was a commanding win and about as good a way to bounce back as you could possibly have.
Yeah, it's what we needed. We needed to go out there and play physical, like I told you before the game. We needed to play for 4 quarters, which I thought we did, regardless of what the score was, regardless of who got in the game. They played Bright South football, and that was a lot of fun to be a part of. And big step forward for us. I love that we got to play a bunch of guys. We played 77 players. I don't think we've ever come close to playing that many in a football game, so that's pretty cool when everybody who's working so hard for this program gets to go in a game and kind of get paid and for all their hard labor, if you will. So that was awesome, and, just a lot of good things in all 3 phases. It was a pretty good night of football.
You ran the ball so well. Dean Connors, toe to the note, was going to go in depth in a little bit about Tajee Atkins too, but just the way, that's why we're talking to the linemen, we're talking off air. Wow, what holes they had to run through and what job they did taking advantage of those holes.
Yeah, I think the line did a great job. And you know what? They needed a bounce-back performance too. And for them to be able to open those holes and give our guys a chance to get started and stay on blocks at the second level like they did, but also to protect the passer. I didn't give up a sack and really didn't give up much more in the wind blow going by EJ. So that was pretty cool, and those guys just fought their butts off, and it looked like what it needs to look like. And that's so true at the defensive line position. It's true everywhere, but the line just played a really, really solid game, and we really believe those backs are special. So when we can give them those inches of daylight that they need and give them a chance to get started, you see the results. And we talked at halftime. We were like, man, we need to start fast. We got to show that we can come out the locker room and be this mature team. And, the first offensive play, Dean takes it 71 yards, and it was so well blocked. But Dean's just special. And the GPS, he hit 21.08 miles per hour.
No way.
Play. Yeah, so he got to rolling pretty good.
Wow. It was a great defensive performance, more on the offense in a little bit, but you set that tone. Really, among other big plays, Tyson Flowers, that pick 6. How about that?
Yeah, that was a game-changing play. Again, we already had a bit of a lead, but that was a play where you just felt so many things coming together because, Tyson does a great job. Number one, there's a bunch of pressure on the quarterback. We always know how rushing coverage work together, and then Tyson picks that ball off, and you've got it seemed like 30 Rice Owls going to block for him downfield, and so some great blocks and some real hard hits on that play as well. Sean Fresh ended up getting under the quarterback's pads and kind of blocking him into the end zone on that play, and there was just a lot of good things going on. And for him to put that in the box, and then the way the sideline went nuts celebrating him, I thought I was going to have a really hard time keeping Dean Connors from going on the field because obviously Tyson Flowers and EJ are really, really close. So, anyway, a lot of mudita, a lot of celebrating going on that sideline on that play. And then just the ability for our defense to get off the field on third down was spectacular. You know, that's a heck of a day when you can do that, and just a lot of good things.
Nate and I talked about Tyson on the broadcast after that big play and how you had told me in the offseason, hey, this guy, you're not going to recognize him, one. And then I talked again to Hans Straub later on in the middle of camp. I mean, he just looks like a different dude. So cool to see that pay off so early in a season with a pick six like that.
Absolutely. And for him to, again, it's not just the pick six. Like, this dude's playing good football, you know, and he's making a lot of calls back there. The experience of Gabe Taylor and all of the offseason progression and learning that Tyson had and Tyson's athletic ability, that's a pretty cool tandem back there at those two spots.
Blaze Tita said his name more than once. Tell us about his backstory. As he when he was out there, you knew he was out there. He was wreaking havoc.
Yeah, and he's rolling at full speed all the time, and that's a big dude, you know, that's rolling like that. So, you know, his backstory is really cool. Like, he's a guy that went to A-Leaf Taylor and didn't have many offers coming out. He ends up going and playing at Lamar. He's like, I'm going to bet on myself. I think I'm better than this. And so he goes and plays junior college football, gets his grades, keeps them up. And then wants an opportunity to come to Rice, and we're so glad we gave it to him. You know, in junior college football, he played mostly that rush linebacker spot, like kind of like Piercy plays on the ball. We call it the X in our defensive package. And when we first got him here, we started playing him some at off-the-ball linebacker, and he learned it really well, and he did some good things in spring. But at the end of the day, he's still so much more comfortable when we get him back to a position where he can rush the passer and affect the game that way. And the value he's bringing on special teams, he's a really good, strong, fast football player.
Chuck and the crew had this note. I kind of had to let it sink in. You had 11 sacks through the first two games. That's the most in wait for 20 years for a Rice football team.
Yeah.
What's that say? I've been, you know, Coach Calhoun's my guy. You know, he's always going to coach him up, but it seems like you've got that consistent pressure, even during the Sam game where it's tough at times, but that's been a trademark here. Even the last part of last year, you did that too.
Yeah, I think it's a combination of a few things. Number one, like, it's absolutely a great pass rush. Those guys are getting after it from when the ball turns over. They're attacking the quarterback. The coverage on the back end plays a great role in that. And, you know, I always talk about Coach Smith being a little bit of a mad scientist and creating some different blitz patterns that are very hard for an offensive line to pick up. And, again, it's not that sometimes they don't have enough numbers. It's sometimes the actual lines on the paper when you say this guy's going to block him and this guy's going to block him. The speed at which these guys are running those stunts is really hard to pick up. So all those guys are really taking to their process, learning and understanding what they have to do to get another person open. I mean, sometimes that's the biggest thing, is running the great pick on one of those games to make sure that you're going to take the guard and occupy the tackle to allow one of those loopers to come in untouched and get those great hits on the quarterback. I'm not sure I would have wanted to play quarterback on Saturday. I mean, that was a rough down, a couple rough downs.
On the offensive side of things, Tajee Atkins made some really big plays. We talked about Big Dino. Connors went over 100, but Atkins, I know it was in the second half, but you knew that was coming, and I think that's safe to say Rice fans can expect a lot more of that. He just has that wow factor.
He does. You know, Tajee, you think about his big runs. He had a couple in the first half that he kind of got what he should have, but still fell forward. But there's one in particular that he broke out on our sideline, and I believe it was in the third quarter. And one of the DBs comes up, and he just feeds him his pads, you know, and the guy goes kind of flying onto our sideline, and Tajee's still on his feet, and you're like, yep, that's what that dude's capable of. But, like, Tajee also hit over 21 miles per hour on the GPS on his breakout touchdown. So there's a lot of good, fast players that we just got to get those chances to get started, and they'll make us all look really smart.
On the special teams, actually, I missed one on offense. Braylon Walker, he tied a career high with 4 catches. Really good with the deep ball traditionally, but he had some good intermediary stuff over the middle and some deep stuff. What have you seen in his progression and on Saturday too?
Yeah, Braylon's such a cool story because Braylon's always had all this ability. And we saw it in the last couple of games of his true freshman year, even though we were able to redshirt him. And then we saw it last year in spurts. But he was a guy that hadn't committed the time necessary to learn this playbook. And now to see him how he is with the freshmen now and putting his arm around him and saying, this is how you learned this. This is where you need to, this is where you need to be. This is why it's important that you're there. And he's becoming a really dependable receiver, which is really cool. I think, you know, you talk about what Braylon did, Matty Sykes getting his first touchdown in a Rice uniform, which was really cool. And Kobe having a couple big plays as well in back-to-back games. So a lot of good stuff going on out there. But it really does start with these big fellas that you're going to talk to tonight and what Coach Davis is doing with the group in terms of, you know, I always say running is a quarterback's best friend, the ability to run the ball And then certainly when we can parlay that and protect the quarterback really well, that's a lot of fun.
Yeah, speaking of, let's preview the guest coming up here in a little bit is Brant Banks. Tell us about him moving to that right side, and he reminded me during camp, hey, I played there in the past, just a newer position at Rice. Just what are you seeing from the big fella there?
When he takes a good square set and uses his length, he is really, really hard to deal with. Like, defensive linemen don't know what to do. They really don't know how to attack his big frame. They don't want to get into him. So he's really talented at that position. He's got the great tools that, when he was born, I guess he was going to be destined to be this large human that he is, but he uses it well when he stays square and sets well. And then what he's doing in the run game, the strain he's showing, and how he's helped brought people along has been really cool as well. You can never underestimate the value of a guy that came into this system as a transfer and had to learn it so quick, and what he can do to help guys like David Stickle get more comfortable and guys like Chad Lindbergh get more comfortable at the position that Brant played last year. So just understanding some details and being able to help out there, Brant's been a great leader.
And Lavelle Dumont coming on too. Fascinating story as well. Kind of perhaps getting into the coaching side of things, looking how to do it, but also could still play. Couldn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's got some football ahead of him one way or another. That's a decision that he's going to have to make, is what his best path. Brant will tell you they got a really cool nickname that they call themselves, so you'll have to ask Brant about that. But look, Lavelle found out at a very tough time that he wasn't going to get to play any more college football, and it was tough for Lavelle and it was tough for us. And he decided he wanted to dive into this coaching thing with both feet, and he is really, really knowledgeable. And I think he loves it. You'll have to ask him. I don't want to speak for him on that, but he's doing a great job. I think he's got an incredible future in coaching. I also, in my heart of hearts, I want to make sure before he turns into Coach Dumont that he is done playing. If he wants to try to pursue this thing, I'd love to help him do that as well. So those are his tough decisions, but I'm really super glad that he's helping Coach Davis out and helping our Rice Out football team out right now.
All right, well, in most weeks we part ways and we talk about the next opponent. But this is a special one, Coach, because this is Bucket Week. How about this big, beautiful thing right in the middle of us? For those on the video stream, obviously, It's the Bayou Bucket. Thanks for bringing it over.
Absolutely. Yeah, Sydney strapped it in her car, had it seatbelted and everything, so could thank her. But, yeah, it's an ugly trophy, but it's beautiful to me, as I always say. That thing's – and it's useful. You can drink out of it.
You proved that last year.
We did.
The nice pick you had sent out there. Hey, thanks. We'll talk to you coming up here in a little bit.
Sounds good, bud.
Thank you very much.
Yes,
Not only
sir.
family head football coach of our Rice Owls, Mike Bloomgren, coming up next. Where's that former Westbury Wildcat? We'll talk to him coming up here. Brant Banks will come here in the mucking bar, and Miss Bayou Buck will be in the middle, but we'll talk more. Coming up next here at Miko's Inn, it's the Mike Bloomgren Show from Learfield.
Rice teams and traditions are legendary. Our team as strategic wealth designers are proud to be a partner of Rice Athletics. What an honor to be working together. When you're ready to discuss your financial future, call the team the Owls trust. We look forward to creating your winning strategy for retirement. Visit us at swdgroup.com today and go Owls.
Rice fans need a place to stay while watching your Owls play ball? Located just steps from campus is the Hilton Houston Medical Center. Visit us today at houstonplaza.hilton.com or call 713-313-4000 to get that special Rice discount. Again, that's houstonplaza.hilton.com or call 713-313-4000 to get that special Rice discount now.
Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer for those who don't follow trends but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is a premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. So don't just raise a glass, raise a flight by Yingling, official beer partner of Rice Athletics and now available everywhere in Texas. The Yingling Company, Fort Worth, Texas. Please enjoy responsibly.
North Star Pressure Washing is a full-service pressure washing company able to provide any type of exterior cleaning to your property. Whether you're a small business looking to improve your appearance for your customers or you're a property owner looking to add curb appeal to your home, In addition to improving your property's appearance, our services will also protect your property from the damage mildew, algae, and other airborne contaminants can cause, thus extending the life of your home or property. Remember North Star Pressure Washing for all your pressure washing needs. Big or small, our company does it all.
Attention thrill seekers and luxury enthusiasts. Ever wondered what it's like to command the road in a Porsche? Stop wondering and start driving. Right now at Porsche River Oaks, we are inviting you to take the driver's seat and feel the power of precision engineering with our exclusive test drives. Our knowledgeable team is ready to put you behind the wheel, allowing you to unleash the true potential of a Porsche. From the all-new design 2014 Cayenne to the versatile Macan, discover the thrill of performance and luxury craftsmanship of Porsche. Schedule your test drive at Porsche River Oaks today. Exclusive benefits to students and alumni. Go Owls!
Welcome back to the Mike Bloomgren Show. Here's the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Yes, you know it. Back here at Mikosina in River Oaks, yum yum is all I have got to say. It is amazing. They have some great fajitas, the chimichanga, the chicken tacos tonight. Brisket tacos also good. Nachos Locos, great queso, obviously. Nachos Mi Tierra, go on and on and on. They got the Mambo Taxis at Rice games now as well. You can join that here starting, I guess, that'd be a couple weeks, 3 weeks, less than 3 weeks. We're back home against Charlotte. But right now we're talking to a great native of our fine city, second year for our Rice Owls. Big 77 on the Rice Owls roster. It is Brant Banks.
How you doing?
Outstanding. How you doing?
Great. Just happy to be here. Like, you're talking through all the menu, making me more hungry. You know, I've been over there trying just about everything you listed. So,
on that, I didn't have this on the notes, but you saying that made me want to know regular diet for a lineman in a game week versus off season. The season's coming up. Restrictions, I'm sure you can't go too crazy. What's it like?
should not probably be eating what I just ate tonight, but it's Monday, so I got some time.
Yeah.
You know, I try and eat healthier. Like you said, I'm a lineman, so it's relative to what most people eat, but a lot. It's just a lot of whatever I can get.
Okay. Not like the Michael Phelps stories of 10,000 calories a day or anything
no,
like that.
No, I mean,
okay.
I kind of know what works for me, and if I'm hungry, I'll eat and probably eat a little bit more after that.
Well, you're no stranger to our airwaves. I was telling you beforehand, I don't know many Owls who had the pregame interview. You talked to us in the locker room with Jason, and now here. So are you just Mike hungry, or what's the deal?
No, just can't get enough. Can't get enough, you know. I mean, whenever y'all ask me to do it, I'll be here.
I appreciate it. You actually, and folks may remember you saying this last year, but you actually hosted a show when you're at Nebraska. Remind us of that and details around that, because I'm always needing fill-ins, you know, when I get a little hoarse or something. You know?
Yeah, so me and my actual German roommate probably didn't talk enough football. That's what people listen to it for, and ended up me just roasting him the entire time. But we did it every Sunday morning pancakes. We'd do a quick football brief of what we're looking for that week, what we were thinking about, and then just go into random stuff, honestly. I mean, we did karaoke one time. We'd get sponsors and eat food, mostly eating.
Nice. Get paid to eat, paid to play football. It's a good
I don't know how much
life,
people like listening to us chew on the radio, but they did it, so.
Tell us this season, or mainly the first two games, what was the big improvement coming from game one? Coach really challenged y'all going into this second game. What was the big difference in the improvement?
He did, and I think the biggest thing for us was communication. I heard Coach Bloom going into a little bit about personally me, staying square. That was a big thing that I challenged myself to do, and I was able to do, but I can always improve more. But, the biggest thing as an O-line unit was communication, and it was night and day, that and the way the season.
You reminded me in the offseason, or like during camp, that you had played right tackle before at Nebraska. Once you get into live action here, how much different was it with all your, 13 starts last year at left guard? To me, novice compared to you, that seemed like it would be a big transition, but when the lights came on, how much different was it, if at all?
Yeah, it is different. It's a quicker position. Obviously, you're not going against a different personnel. I think the biggest change is the speed. Speed of contact on the interior is quick, but the guys aren't as quick. On the edge, you might take 2, maybe 1.5 seconds before you even get into contact, and it got to be more patient, but also quicker. So it's a fine medium yet to find.
You had a big moment in the offseason, one of your big life moments, hopefully even above football. You got married.
I did, yeah.
How awesome.
Yeah, I did. It was awesome. One of the greatest days of my life, Coach Vell was there. He got to come celebrate with us. We were down in Tulum, and we had a great time.
Yeah. How, has that changed any perspective, seeing bachelor Brant Banks versus married man Brant Banks?
Not in football, no. I mean, it definitely it changes the home life, right? I have a wife waiting for me who's cooking dinner sometimes, I'd like to say, which is nice sometimes. But, no, it doesn't change anything football-wise.
Daly on the team's also married, right?
He is.
And there's another.
Yes, there is. So we have a couple married guys. Daly actually just had a kid.
Michael Daly, yeah.
Yep. Graham Daly, Graham Cracker Daly. Yeah, he's a great. He's a cute kid. We're all so excited for him. I got married throughout the offseason, but he had a baby in fall camp, right? That's one of the toughest things I've ever even heard a teammate doing, and it's awesome because it's a great time. Everyone's super excited, but it's also a tiring time because you're in fall camp. So watching him juggle that and just how he came to work every day is amazing.
Yeah. Sign of an older, mature team when you got 2 or 3 guys getting married and having kids.
Yeah, we do for sure.
Yeah. Tell us, Coach was talking about nicknames you have, you and the other guys and Lavelle too. Is this something that is airable or that you even want to share, or do we leave that to him?
I really do want to share it, but I think it'd be even better if Lavelle shared it.
Okay.
And I think he's over there. He's over there saying like he wants to. So we'll let him do it. He looks excited.
Yeah,
so.
That makes me want to ask you more now.
Yeah, I think Lavelle will do it.
I work at a curious university, curious mind too. So at least off air.
Yeah, we call him. I mean, it's not the full. I'll give you a sneak peek, right? He's Thunder, but he'll give you the rest of it.
Okay. Tell us this big, beautiful lady right here, right in between, not another woman. It is the bucket, by the way, for those just on the audio side. What did it mean last year, winning this? As a Houston native, you told me last year, I remember you came to some Rice games growing up, but just winning this big, beautiful thing right here.
Yeah, it meant everything, right? All the hard work we put in the offseason to be able to put it on display in a double overtime game was amazing. And I was talking to someone just about it today because obviously it's rivalry week, and I've been a part of some awesome games, some big rivalry games. We beat Iowa at Nebraska for the first time in years, and it felt good. But, as much as I would have liked to blow them out in the first half, it made it pretty cool that we went double overtime. It was a little nail biter, but it was a magical moment. It was surreal. So it means everything that we were able to have it. We just got to defend it this week.
Yeah. Speaking of, you read my mind. What's the big key or two coming in against the Cougars?
Yeah, we've got to be us. Like, we know the team we have, we know the guys we have on the team, and we just have to come out and play how we play, right? And if we do that, we can beat anyone. We just need to be us. And for the O-line, that means communicate. It means do our little things right. But when we're doing that and we're, firing on all cylinders, we're a great team.
Well, we still got some nachos, flautas, and tacos. The other menu items I don't think you've tried yet. So
yeah, I'll go get working on those.
Feel free. Appreciate it.
Yes, sir.
Hey, I'm sure we'll talk to you.
Yes,
the
sir.
other post games.
Yes, sir.
It's a popular one. Brant Banks, thank you, sir. Appreciate it. Brant Banks, no pancakes, but we've got Mexican food, even better. Stay tuned with us. Thunder, maybe, or not. Coming up next, Lavelle Dumont joins us. This is from Me Casina, the Mike Bloomgren Show from Learfield.
Football fans are passionate, just like John Deere fans. And if you're a John Deere person, the name to know is Shoppers. In football, it's about calling the right plays. The right call for John Deere equipment is Shoppers. Shoppers has the right size John Deere tractor with attachments for any job. You can build your tractor online with Shoppers' exclusive Build It, Price It, Own It tool. See all our John Deere specials by Googling Shoppers at SHOPPAS. It's time for you to make the right call. Shoppers, your John Deere tractor experts and proud sponsor of Rice Owl Athletics.
Big trip on the horizon? Before you depart, you gotta park. The parking spot is a simpler, easier way to navigate airport parking, and you can save when you book online. You're guaranteed a spot, and we even pick you up at your trunk in our yellow and black spotted shuttles and take you straight to the terminal. Parking and saving come full circle at the parking spot. The Parking Spot, proud sponsor of Rice University. Visit theparkingspot.com to reserve your spot today.
Cancer is never just cancer. It affects your entire body. At Houston Methodist Neal Cancer Center, we have the expertise to treat all of you. Leading oncologists use the latest technology, research, and treatments to stop your cancer, while specialists minimize its effects on major organs. There's a better approach to cancer care that heals all of you. That's the difference between practicing medicine and leading it. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
At True Anomaly Brewing, our greatest achievement lives in knowing that everything we've learned is yours to enjoy. While it may not be rocket science, we brew with the same detail and dedication learned while running mission operations for NASA. Taking risks is part of our DNA. We don't take them just to say we did, we take them because of the result. Bold brews we're proud to share with fellow adventure seekers. True Anomaly Brewing, beer for the explorers.
This is the Mike Bloomgren Show, live at Mikosina. Now here again, the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Yes. Welcome back. Thanks to all that came out. We have packed out this monkey bar in the back. We don't mind you coming to Mikosina, but in future weeks, unless you come in under the wire this week, we are in the back here at the Monkey Bar in River Oaks. They have some great grub, the Mambo Taxis, any and all Mexican favorites. When they told us this was a possibility, I was really, really happy. This has been one of my favorite Mexican spots for a long time. First year here inside the Bayou City, and this is some great grub here. Joined now by Rice Owl loved through and through, Lavelle Dumont. How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Yeah, appreciate it. Do you like that Brant went before you, or would you rather him now after hearing what he said that he'd gone after?
Oh, well, after hearing that, definitely after. But yeah, I ain't gonna say too much on the nickname right now, but maybe okay. I'll finish with it.
That's okay. I'm trained in the art of getting words out of people, so you have to be wary of. No, not really. If you don't want to talk about it, tell us what this transition's been like for you. And just, I know, talking to Coach in the off season, it had just happened when the eligibility thing came down, which is, I know you probably won't say it, but it's pretty bogus the way they handled the whole thing on the other side of things. But how are you dealing with it, and now that it's been a little bit?
Well, obviously in the beginning I didn't take it too well. Got a little down in the dumps, but luckily, thanks to Coach Bloom and Coach Sanders, Coach Gritty, they found a way to incorporate me, and I've done a good job of just realizing I have kind of like the same mission, just a different job, I would say, per se. But I'm glad to still be with the guys, but I would love to still be out there playing with them. It's unfortunate that the NCAA handled it the way they did, but it is what it is. Sometimes it's a blessing in disguise, I would say.
Yeah, I was going to say that. Not that I have to say this in front of all these people, but life, I'm sure you've heard this advice already. Sometimes the toughest things that happen years down the road, you're like, wow, I know why I went through something like that. What's the best advice someone's given you so far?
Best advice, just put your head down and yourself. I've lived by that since I was little. Things haven't always fallen in my lap. I haven't been in the best environment from time to time, but I always made the best of it.
Yeah. Discuss playing, really good player, obviously, in Tampa, going up to Toledo and then coming down to Rice. What drew you coming down to Rice, and what was last year starting every game like for you?
Well, coming to Rice, I would say, is a big part of Coach Bloom having a background in the NFL, being an O-line guy. I would also say I had a great relationship with Coach Sanders. At first, it wasn't the best, but we learned to love each other even more. That's an inside joke. But I would say Rice as a whole has been a great experience. I've been on good teams before, but I've never had to develop as a whole, seeing the whole team come together from both sides of the ball, offense and defense being great. Just having to attain a goal that was unthinkable by others is just something you can't really make up for real.
You're a very motivating guy, it seems. When I see you at practice, jumping up and down, kind of like an offensive lineman cheerleader, if you don't mind me saying, what attitude and mentality do you take now that unfortunately was taken away from you, but how do you still try to keep upbeat? Because it seems like you're upbeat when I see you.
Yeah, I definitely try and supply the juice. Coach Sanders likes to say, be a good juice guy, bring energy every day into practice. Even meetings, I try and bring energy. I just want to be there in a sense that I probably didn't know was an option to have. Like while being a player, I try and just do my best to be there for the guys and just try and be a voice or outlet to any of them on the field and off the field.
Coach Bloomgren said in that first segment, I think you heard that you dove into coaching with 2 feet there. What's that been like? Do you see things now different than all those snaps playing? Now you've had 2 games on the sideline looking in a different lens, I imagine. What's that whole process been like?
Oh, it's been insane because it's like, I tell you this a million times and you still don't want to listen. And then it's like, that was me just a couple seconds ago. But nah, it's definitely, I would say I'm extremely grateful for Coach Bloom and Coach Davis for allowing me to be in the position that I am. I didn't see myself being in this position, especially anytime soon, but they've done a good job of just teaching me the things and tricks of the trade, really.
If it does go down the coaching pathway for you, you see, like, obviously staying in the interior, like one would assume, okay, the line, but there are a lot of head coaches that are former O-line coaches too. What kind of aspirations, or have you even paid that any mind?
I'm just taking it day by day right now. I'm just trying to be the best me I can be. I do like to see myself in the same light as those 2 over there, just trying to follow in those footsteps. But as of right now, like, I'm just trying to work and really learn the game from the opposite side, and like look at the whole big picture, not just my side of things.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
And if you're comfortable talking about it, like Coach mentioned, also the playing aspect could still be there. Walk us through that, and is it getting ready for the combine for the next class, or how does that work?
So for me, if I do choose to go the playing route after the season, I'll probably try and be through the XFL and use that tape to maybe get picked up by a team, because I wouldn't necessarily have to have an agent or have to go through the combine, because I technically wouldn't be a first-year guy out. So
tell us about, from what you've seen from this year's unit, guys at different spots. Ethan moving over to left, and Brent mentioned his time at right, but so many familiar names at different spots. What have you seen from the line? Been a couple games, but what have you seen so far?
I love the growth I've seen from Ethan and Brant. Brant's becoming a great leader and really learning how to use his voice and make sure the guys just follow behind him. Ethan is coming into his own, starting to really learn how to be dominant. And then interior-wise, I think Chad, Stick, and John, I love the way John has approached the game this year. I haven't seen this type of focus from him. Mm-hmm. So it's just glad to see the growth player-wise and also off the field-wise.
He's got some mean in him, doesn't he? I know all y'all do, but there was one play, I forget the sequence of it, but the other day, he ripped into somebody the other day.
Yeah, he's probably one of the nastiest guys I know.
Good nasty or bad nasty?
Both.
You got to have those type of guys.
Hey, everybody serves a purpose.
Yeah. You told me off air that you're taking some master's classes. Tell us about the academic side of things. What have you enjoyed?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons I chose to come here. Somebody from my background probably never had the chance to go to a school like Rice, prestigious Ivy League type school, especially for free. So I'm trying to take full advantage of it and still acquire my master's degree. So it's going great. It's going great.
Yeah. Well, it's the second time you mentioned that with your background. Do you mind sharing about that growing up? Because I know you mentioned some of it last year when we were prepping to go back to your hometown. What's the journey been like for you?
It's just been long. I don't want to say it's been hard because I was in it for a reason, but I would say it's how do I put it? It's been good. It's been good. It's been good to me. The game of football has taken me places that I never thought of, I would say. My mom and my dad did a good job raising me.
Obviously, yeah.
But things weren't always easy, but we found a way to make it work.
From my observation, it seems like, not knowing you too well, that you've learned from those experiences, and they've made you better. Is that safe to?
No, I've definitely had to grow up a little bit sooner rather than later, but I wouldn't be the man who I am today without it.
Well, I know I speak for a lot of people that this latest setback, if you even want to term it that, you'll be better for it in the end.
Oh yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Thanks for coming on. We got Thunder and
Chocolate Thunder.
There you go. See, I told you I could get it. I could do it. Who could resist? Hey, thank you.
No, I appreciate
it. Thank you very much. Lavelle Dumont of our Owls. Stay tuned. Coming up next, we'll have Sanders Davis, O-line coach he was just referencing, coming back next year in the Monkey Bar and Me Casino in River Oaks. This is the Mike Bloomgren Show, live from Me Casino on Learfield.
Owl fans know where to stay when they come to Houston. Courtyard by Marriott, Rice University is the preferred choice, whether cheering on Coach Bloomgren and the team or kicking off their Rice experience during O Week. Just minutes from Rice Village and only 3 miles to campus, we provide the right mix of convenience and accessibility. When you're hungry, stop by the bistro for either breakfast or evening options. Cheer for the Owls by raising a glass in the lounge and unwind with your favorite beverage. Call 713-661-5669 to make a reservation, and be sure to ask for the Rice University rate. We look forward to welcoming you.
You ready for the big game? Fuel up for game day at Salad and Go. Whether you're tailgating, playing in the game, or cheering from home, make sure you've got your game day greens. From fresh salads to hearty wraps and refreshing drinks, Salad and Go has what you need to fill up and feel great. Score big with game day greens from Salad and Go. It's just what you need to win the day. Find a drive-thru near you at saladandgo.com or order online at saladandgo.com.
Rice teams and traditions are legendary. Our team as strategic wealth designers are proud to be a partner of Rice Athletics. What an honor to be working together. When you're ready to discuss your financial future, call the team the Owls trust. We look forward to creating your winning strategy for retirement. Visit us at swdgroup.com today and go Owls.
Flight by Yingling, the next generation of light beer for those who don't follow trends but craft them. Flight by Yingling is 12 ounces of uncompromised refreshment from America's oldest brewery. With only 2.6 grams of carbs and 95 calories, this is a premium refreshment 6 generations in the making. So don't just raise a glass, raise a flight by Yingling, official beer partner of Rice Athletics and now available everywhere in Texas. The Yingling Company, Fort Worth, Texas. Please enjoy responsibly.
North Star Pressure Washing is a full-service pressure washing company able to provide any type of exterior cleaning to your property, whether you're a small business looking to improve your appearance for your customers or you're a property owner looking to add curb appeal to your home. In addition to improving your property's appearance, our services will also protect your property from the damage mildew, algae, and other airborne contaminants can cause, thus extending the life of your home or property. Remember North Star Pressure Washing for all your pressure washing needs. Big or small, our company does it all.
You're listening to the latest on Owls football with the head coach, Mike Bloomgren. Now let's go back inside Me Cocina.
Yes, indeedy. You know it. It is the Mike Bloomgren Show coming up in just a bit. We'll talk more of this beautiful lady in between Coach Davis and me. The Bayou Bucket Owls want to keep that where it belongs on South Main. We'll talk about Coach Fritz's fine club here in just a bit. Joined now by a man that's very familiar to these airwaves. He's been on many times, O-line coach Sanders Davis. How are you doing?
I am doing great, and I just want to say how excited I am for Rice football fans that the Mambo Taxi margaritas are going to be served in the stadium. They're fantastic.
Yeah, they're legendary. I guess you just obviously can't partake.
Right.
It's kind of
for
very,
the fans.
Very ironic.
Right.
But you're happy for the fans.
I'm happy for them.
But Monday nights, I guess, it's free reign for everybody else, right?
Free reign.
Yeah. Tell us, we heard the player's perspective, from a coaching perspective, and I had a little sliver of 37 seconds to talk to you before the game just to make sure I had my ducks in a row, and it obviously proved really well. What improved so much scheme-wise that the guys really took to heart in game 2?
Yeah, I don't know if it was so much scheme as it was ownership. You know, I think we've been challenging these guys a lot in their technique and their execution of the game plan, and wasn't to our expectation, to anybody's expectation in game 1. And you know, there's kind of 2 roads you go down when that happens. You either address it and you attack it and you own it, or you pretend like there's not a problem and nothing changes. And so I think what was special about the way that not only this offensive line, but the way this team approached, you know, the second week of the season was they did it the right way. And we talk a lot about, you know, we've talked a lot in the past about this team's potential. and versus actuality. And we know that this team is capable of a lot. And after week one, that just wasn't what the actuality was. And so those guys attacked that. They knew that they were better than that. They knew that they were way more talented than the product that they put out on the field. They owned their mistakes, and they changed it. And so Einstein, one of my favorite quotes from him is a measure of a man's intelligence is his ability to change. And so to be able to embrace the fact that we had to change and the fact that we did change, it speaks the world of who these guys are and how hungry they are to be the unit that they should be.
Yeah, didn't he have another quote? Don't do the same thing over and over again, expecting different results, right?
Exactly.
Definition of idiocy. But tell us about Brant, leading with him, making the switch, so to speak, at Rice to right tackle since he's on here. What has he done so well? And then with that hole opened up with Ethan moving over to left. Talk about your bookends there, because I know you love talking about Ethan in the past.
I love talking about both of these guys. So when Brant came in, we had two somewhat established tackles in the system. And we were asking him to do something that you don't normally ask a 6'8" guy to do, which is play interior, play guard. And he came in and he attacked that role wholeheartedly and did a really, really good job. Oftentimes was one of the higher graded guys on the front. And, I think we all know with his athleticism, with his, he has a few games playing college basketball, out there. And so with his athleticism, it was very apparent that after that season we needed to move him out to tackle. And like he said, the closer you get to the ball, the faster the game moves. But at tackle, those guys are a little bit more athletic. The ends that are a lot more athletic, the ends that you're going up against. And he's made that transition really well. And like Bloom had mentioned, and he had mentioned, some refinement in the technique. You can get away with a little bit more at times on the interior than you can out there on the island at tackle. And he didn't love the way the first game went and decided to make a change, and it was all for the better, and had really zero issues in the second game, and couldn't have been prouder of the way that he responded to the challenge. Because a lot of guys wouldn't. And he went out there and did an unbelievable job. And I think the sky's the limit for him. If he can continue to make those steps week after week after week, I think we're going to be incredibly proud of the tackle that Brant is becoming. And then with Ethan, I think there's a similar message there. He started for us at a really young age and is constantly developed, put a lot on his plate early. And some young guys would crumble under that. And it certainly wasn't without mistakes. But again, being resilient, understanding you don't want those things to happen again, understanding that the sky's the limit if you put the appropriate work in. And I think Ethan is a great definition of that. And, Lavelle has done an unbelievable job mentoring him this as he's moving into this coaching role and, telling him, hey, man, you're the best player out on the field, and you need to act like it. And Ethan responds incredibly well to that and believes that. And so, I think Lavelle has had a really great impact, in Ethan's growth as well. So that's been really great to see.
I've been doing this a minute, and I've been around a lot of great Rice student athletes. Does Ethan Onyeonwa embody everything that Rice can offer athletically, academically, the way he's challenging himself in bioengineering and just you've gushed and gushed. I know, again, he's one of your favorite topics. Just on field, off, and he's going to be playing this game for a long time.
Yeah, I believe that, and I can't give him enough praise, and he's a guy that we were hard on early. With these young guys, you have to see, are they going to be able to take the pressure of the game early, or is he going to be able to go out as a freshman and play? And he responded really well to the pressure during practice, and he's been a guy that has constantly attacked what he needs to grow. How do I need to get better at this? How do I need to get better at this? What can I do differently there? And he stays late after practice. He's one of the first guys out to practice, constantly working on those nuances of his game. And so in terms of being a Rice man, there's no question. He is incredibly brilliant. Off the charts brilliant. A lot of times, he's one of the last people to leave the building, including me. There will be days, later in the week where I'll be leaving, and he's still in there working. And he'll work a little organic chemistry, and then he'll take a break from that and watch a little film, and then he'll work on anatomy, and then he'll take a little bit more time and watch the next set of film clips. And so I don't know if I've ever been around another human being like him in terms of the intensity that he brings and how much he values literally both sides of this thing. It's not just football. It's not just academics. It's definitely both for him. And he's been an amazing person to be around. I'm incredibly proud, and I think his future is very, very bright.
And in the interior, Chad Lindbergh making his first start. I know you expect a lot from him, offseason acquisition, so to speak, along with E.J. Warner. What can we expect from Chad down the line? Obviously, top-tier talent inside.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, he came in with just a couple days prep. What's been really impressive with Chad is how engaged he's been through this injury and how focused he's been. He's constantly asking questions in the meetings. He's constantly going through things. Like, even though he's not in the live, he wasn't in the live plays. He was walking through it behind the camera. And so it doesn't surprise me that he was able to slide in there, you know, after only a couple days of prep and execute at a high level. And that show. I think there's a lot to be, you know, to see about a football player when they're injured and how they respond to that injury and how engaged they remain, especially for a guy that's new in the program. I think that was a really unique approach to see, and it was, and obviously it paid off for him because he played a heck of a game. He is wicked strong. He is really smart. Exactly who we need guys to be in a system that's based on intellectual brutality, and huge addition to our line. And I was very impressed. I mean, he blocked a linebacker in this last game. I mean, literally into the ground, and that was a focus for us going into this game, and it was really cool to see that.
And lastly, big one, this nice bucket on the line. I haven't studied much about their D-line, but I know in the past they've had some amazing defensive line. Some of those guys not still there. But what is this year's version with a lot of guys leaving, but still with, you know, what Coach Fritz can do? What's this D-line look like for U of H?
Yeah, I mean, I have a lot of respect for Coach Fritz. I've known him for a long time. You know, one of my best friends worked for him early in his career, and I got to be around him. And he's always going to get the most out of his guys, you know. And so I think this group up front for them is talented. I think we're incredibly talented, you know. So I think with both groups are firing on all cylinders, it's going to be a heck of a matchup. And I'm taking the Owls in the front, you know. And so I think they're gonna move a little bit, you know. They're gonna try to test us a little bit. They're gonna work a lot of movement to try and get us off balance. And I don't think we'll fall for that. But I'm excited for this challenge, and I think our guys are really excited for this challenge. I think there's a lot of confidence moving in from this last game. You know, it doesn't matter who you're playing. 329 yards rushing is hard to do, and for those guys to step up and want to put that on display shows me a lot about who we are, and now we need to take the next step and bring that into this game, and I'm excited for what we're going to put out on the field.
I always enjoy the education. Appreciate you.
Yeah, absolutely.
Thank you very much. Sanders Davis helping us out as always. Appreciate him. Stay tuned. Coming up next back here at the Mike Bloomgren Show from Me Casino. We'll wrap it up with a preview of that team across town. This is the Mike Bloomgren Show from Learfield.
Whether running a marathon or walking your dog, every movement matters. But when you're in pain, simple activities can feel unbearable. At Houston Methodist Orthopedics and Sports Medicine, our specialists can help you heal faster using the latest technology, minimally invasive procedures, and advanced physical therapy. As the top-ranked hospital in Texas, we have the expertise to keep you moving and help you get back to doing the things you love. Houston Methodist, leading medicine.
Attention thrill seekers and luxury enthusiasts. Ever wondered what it's like to command the road in a Porsche? Stop wondering and start driving. Right now at Porsche River Oaks, we are inviting you to take the driver's seat and feel the power of precision engineering with our exclusive test drives. Our knowledgeable team is ready to put you behind the wheel, allowing you to unleash the true potential of a Porsche. From the all-new designed 2014 Cayenne to the versatile Macan, discover the thrill of performance and luxury craftsmanship of Porsche. Schedule your test drive at Porsche River Oaks today. Exclusive benefits to students and alumni. Go Owls!
At True Anomaly Brewing, our greatest achievement lives in knowing that everything we've learned is yours to enjoy. While it may not be rocket science, we brew with the same detail and dedication learned while running mission operations for NASA. Taking risks is part of our DNA. We don't take them just to say we did, we take them because of the result. Bold brews we're proud to share with fellow adventure seekers. True Anomaly Brewing, beer for the explorers.
Shoppers has the right John Deere equipment for you. If you're looking for a tractor, gator, or lawnmower, let the experts at Shoppers give you the right answers to your John Deere questions. Shoppers makes buying a piece of John Deere equipment easy with our online Build It, Price It, Own It tool. You can add attachments specific to your needs or check out our ready-to-go John Deere tractor packages. See all that Shoppers has to offer by Googling Shoppers at SHOPPAS. Shoppers, your John Deere tractor experts and proud sponsors of Rice Owl Athletics.
Welcome back to the Mike Bloomgren Show. Here's the voice of the Owls, J.P. Heath.
Yes, making it back here. Our final segment of our first show out here. Really appreciate Armando, all our friends. I tried to get Armando on. I said, Armando, come on, we got to talk you up. But he said you can talk about all our great grub, the chimichanga, the great tacos, brisket tacos, Mambo Taxis now at Rice Games as well, too, on the concourse. They got happy hour Monday to Friday, 3 to 6. Cocatelas de tequila, by the glass, too. See, I got to brush that out, too. All right, we talked about a little bit about this big, beautiful, ugly bucket earlier on. Let's talk about their team and Willie Fritz. Only knowing him a wee bit, talking to him for like 10, 15 minutes at a media day. The guy has his act together, Coach, and you know that he can coach, like Coach Davis was saying, he can coach him up. What's this year's Cougars team look like with him at the helm now?
Well, it's going to be more discipline, and they're going to play harder. And that's the thing you can always bank on Willie's teams. I don't know if anybody does a better job preparing his team to make sure that they don't hurt themselves than Willie Fritz. And the way that they play on special teams and just, again, the love of the game that they always show. It's one of those things like Willie's a good friend. He's a guy that I trust completely in this business. And I'm glad to have him in Houston. I'm not real fired to have to scheme against him and Shield Woods and Kevin Barbay this week. They're tough outs, man. Everything they do is sound and really well coached. So we're going to have to earn everything this weekend, and that's the way we want it.
In this era of college football, you don't have a quarterback sometimes stay between to another. That says a lot. Donovan Smith, who I know has coaching in the family bloodlines, and a great quarterback and is a great game last year. How does he look in the new offense with a couple games survey?
It's tough. Like when you take over with the new staff and then things didn't go the way they wanted it to in game one and they made some changes and stuff, but then they stuck with Donovan last week at Oklahoma, and on the biggest stage, on an SEC stage, Donovan performed pretty well. And so I certainly think that's the quarterback we're going to see, and it will be interesting to see how the game plan changes, how they evolve from week to week. And obviously, he is a talent, and he's a big human being. So a big quarterback who's talented in a very good scheme. So we're going to, again, just have to we're going to worry about us. We're going to go through our process, and we're going to prepare the right way, and then we're going to play Rice Owl violent football. And that will solve a lot of issues. So I look forward to watching us do that.
He hooked up with Manjack for a big touchdown, a local product, and went to USC. But on their defensive side, is their defense any different, or how different are they, and what do you expect from their D?
Defensively, they've become schematically Tulane West. So everything we prepared for Tulane last year, which obviously we know how good of a defense they were and how sound they are, that's what we're going to be preparing for this week, and really you see that carry over to the games that they played against UNLV and then Oklahoma. So they know exactly who they are defensively. They're trying to get their guys to play within that scheme and understand it. Of course, they've got some talented players. So we're going to have to earn this thing. And again, she's worth it, she's worth it. So we want this opportunity.
There's a Bloomism back there somewhere. You play the game for trophies. You had it more eloquent than I did, but this
tangible evidence of a job well done.
Yeah, right here.
Indeed,
I like it. Hopefully Saturday night you're tweeting out more videos of drinking.
You can come over
out of this. Okay. Yep. Take you up on that. Thanks, Bloom. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. How about it?
Yeah.
Mike Bloomgren in the Rice House. Bayou Bucket is on the line coming up on Saturday night, 7 ESPN Plus. We'll have the audio side of things coming up. Rice House Game Day app, Varsity Network app, ricehouse.com, and then our in-booth feed as well. Remember to everything we give thanks. Thanks to you all for coming out. Thanks to Armando, the great folks, Kevin and company at Mi Cocina here. Appreciate y'all so much. We will be back. Thanks to Walter here, to Leak back at the studio engineering. And thanks to our great guest, Brant Banks and his fajitas, Lavelle Dumont, Chocolate Thunder, and Sanders Davis as well. Did he leave already?
No. Brant just stepped out for just a second.
Brant.
But we also got Brant's family there. We got Todd and Randa, and then we got Maddie. And you got to remember, like, he didn't just marry some girl. He married a All-American at Nebraska who's playing pro volleyball. Like, he's got a high standard to live up to, so he better keep getting better. He better find a way.
Yeah. He's doing well, isn't he?
Yeah, he is.
Hey, thank you all for coming out. Have a great rest of this night. God bless. Go Owls. Rice Fight. We will talk to you Saturday with the bucket on the line. This has been the Mike Bloomgren Show live from Casino on Learfield.
On the Rice Sports Network from Learfield, you've been listening to the Mike Bloomgren Show, live from Micosina. Micosina, serving undeniably authentic Tex-Mex. Tonight's show was brought to you by The Parking Spot. The Parking Spot. We have airport parking covered. The International Brotherhood of Electrical Workers, Local 716, lighting up Houston for over 100 years. The preceding has been a Learfield presentation of the Rice Sports Network.